Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing something really fun in this video. My friend Brittany had an amazing idea for us to do a summer reading challenge bingo. Me and all of her friends who were interested in doing this bingo challenge, we all entered in $5. And with that $5, the winner of the summer reading challenge will be getting a Barnes & Noble gift card. So we each have been made our bingo cards. They're all different. This is my bingo card. I have already marked off one square, I will admit. I told you guys in my last video that I was reading Shield of Sparrows. So I gave that book 5 stars. I love that book. So one of the blocks on my bingo card was to do a 5-star book or have a 5-star book and to leave my review in the comments whenever I submitted my bingo card. So I did do that and I let them know that that was my 5-star book. And right now I am actually reading another book for this bingo card, and one of those squares on there says read a yellow book or a book with a yellow cover. Right now I am reading Carrie Soto is Back. Really am enjoying it. We'll see if I can be the first one to complete it. I'm not like super hopeful because I'm not the fastest reader, but it's gonna be fun whether I win or not. It'll be cool to go through all these different prompts and to see what books I can read for this challenge, but also just from my summer TBR. To talk a little bit about Carrie Soto is Back, I am really enjoying this book. I played tennis in high school, so I feel like I'm connecting to this book in the tennis area a little bit more than somebody who may not have played tennis would. I really actually love hearing them talk about the game, talk about her training, talk about the different opponents that she is going up against, and just the connection between her and her father as he is coaching her, as well as the way that the media is kind of portraying her as an older woman who is coming out of retirement to play tennis again and to try to defend her title, but also as someone who's not super like friendly. She's not very humble. She's very like upfront. Like she knows she is a good tennis player and she knows that she works hard and deserves the awards that she has received. And she's not gonna be like humble and gracious just to like save face. So the way that the media talks about her is very interesting. I'm just really enjoying watching some of her character development and reading about that, because at first when I was reading the book, she is a little bit more of a unlikable or harder to like character, just because again, she is a little more rough around the edges. But watching her grow into kind of a different version of herself is really cool and really interesting, because I just wasn't sure how I was going to feel about her in the very beginning if we didn't receive some kind of growth from her. But right now in the part that I'm reading, I'm kind of nearing the end of the book. She's going through a little bit of trouble with something that's going on in her personal life, something kind of traumatic and sad that just happened. And I'm interested to see how she deals with that, but then continues to play her best, think her best, act her best in tennis, and how it is that she's going to carry out after this traumatic event, how she's going to act throughout this like basically last leg of her career, because she is retired and she's planning on going back into retirement after this. She's just simply trying to defend her titles. But that's kind of all I have to say right now. It's really good. If you have a background in tennis, I think that you would really enjoy this. And I think that it kind of clicks a little bit for me because of my background in tennis. But Taylor Jenkins Reid does do a really good job though in this book of explaining everything. If you don't have that background in tennis, I think you would still be able to understand what is going on and what it is that she is talking about. It's just because I do have the background in tennis, I don't really need that explanation. So for me, it's just clicking really quickly, and I'm really enjoying reading about the games and the competitions and all that stuff. I have been reading it on my Kindle, and then I have been like listening to the audiobook. The audiobook is so good. I'm so glad that I listened when somebody recommended that to me, because it is done very similarly to the audiobook for The Favorites, and there are just several different people who are narrating it. But all that to say, right now I am about to do some cleaning around the house. So I am going to just put in the headphones and finish the book on audiobook. And yeah, try to finish that up with some laundry and just some household stuff that I've got going on.
Mommy.
Yes, ma'am?
Do you want to play ball?
Yeah, we can play ball.
Come on.
Okay. and play ball. Okay everybody, so I was able to finish Carrie Soto is Back. I really liked that book. I think I am landing on like 4.5 stars right now, somewhere between 4 and 4.5 for sure. I really liked that book, and again, I don't really know if it's because of my past with tennis or if it was just the way that Taylor Jenkins Reid did that book. I really liked it. It was definitely similar to The Favorites, which is what I had heard and which is what got me interested in reading this book. So I'm really glad that I picked that one up, and because of that I was able to mark off of my bingo card that I read a yellow book. So very happy about that. Next, I am going to be reading on my Kindle. I've got The Tenant by Frida McFadden. Again, this is a book that is on my summer TBR, if you guys watched that video a couple weeks ago. So I'm really happy to read this. I'm definitely in the mood for a thriller. I am a mood reader, 100,000%. I don't typically reach for literary fiction and I don't typically reach for thrillers. But I do really like Frida McFadden's books when I want a thriller, and she doesn't typically write stuff that's too extremely dark, so it's kind of more my speed when I'm wanting something like this. I will admit that I've actually already started it. I think I am, yes, I'm on chapter 9, and that's 16% of the way into the book. So far so good. I'm kind of wondering what exactly is going on. We've had a couple spooky little encounters happen already, and sorry, my cat is behind the camera and she's rubbing up against the camera. Okay, I'm gonna lay down here in my bed and keep reading this, and then I'll get back with you guys tomorrow and let you know how far I get. Officially in part 2 of this book. So we just had a point of view change and we are now reading from a different character's point of view. I will say this little plot twist that we just had at the end of part 1 did catch me off guard. It wasn't what I was expecting. I've been hooked to this book. Like, I don't want to stop reading, but at the same time, everything that's been happening is weird and crazy, but nothing has been like, I don't know, not super thrilling. It's more just, I guess, kind of like psychological, if that makes any sense. So now that we have switched point of views, I'm ready to kind of see the other side of it. That's something that I actually really enjoy in Frida McFadden's books, is that she does give us another point of view. So we are reading about things that have already happened, but we're getting it from a different perspective. It's kind of giving us all angles and explaining things just a little bit better. So I'm gonna keep reading, and I honestly feel like I can finish this today. I think I'm already like 75 or 76% of the way through the book. So I think I can finish it today. I should be able to. All right, everybody, I was able to finish The Tenant. We have been home for most of the day. It has been rainy, as it is supposed to be for the rest of the week. So I did get this book finished. I think I'm gonna land on like 3.5 stars. But even though this wasn't my favorite book, we still got to mark off the thriller/mystery box on our bingo card. So one more little mark is made. And now I am going to move on to Finley Donovan Digs Her Own Grave. This is the 5th book in the Finley Donovan series by, I think it's El Cosimino, or maybe it's El Cosimano. I can't really remember, but I do really like this series. Again, it's the 5th book, so I've read all of the other ones and have really enjoyed those. So I'm gonna move on to this one, and right now I am aiming for this one to be a blue book cover, but I need to just think about it a little bit more, because if I can find another box to put it in that'll work better for me, I might do that one. I'm gonna have to look at my bingo card and see what we decide on, but right now I'm thinking I'm gonna put it on the blue book cover box. Tomorrow we are actually planning to go to the library, and one of the boxes on my bingo card is to get a picture with the librarian. So since we will be at the library tomorrow, I am planning to ask one of the ladies there, or I think there are a few guys that work there at the library as well. I'm planning on asking one of them to take a little picture with me. I'm gonna let them know what this is for and make sure they're good with me sharing the picture. But yeah, I think it'll be really cute, and I think that's a really fun one. It also really encourages us to get out there and go to the library. The next day, and we went to the library, as you saw from the couple of clips I just put before this, and I was able to get a picture with a librarian and fill out that box on the bingo card. That is just one more thing that is checked off the bingo card. And I was looking at it, trying to come up with some kind of strategy, and I don't know where to go. So right now I'm still kind of going with my chaotic method of just getting whatever box I think is going to be quickest or easiest for me, or just continuing to read books that are on my TBR or that I have access to right now, and putting them into the box that I can get them to fit into. Would it be quicker for me to just pick a route and go with it? Probably, but I don't know what books to use for some of them. Like, for example, one of the boxes says a book that was published the year you were born. I was born in 1997, and when I tried to look up books that were published in 1997, nothing stood out as something that I knew I wanted to read, or something that I already recognized, other than children's books or children's stories, and I don't think those will count. So I've got to keep doing a little research where I can, and continue reading the book that I'm currently reading, which is Finley Donovan Digs Her Own Grave. Actually work on a little craft I am doing right now. My daughter is taking a nap, and since Father's Day is coming up at the time that I'm recording this, I am trying to finish up a shirt that I'm working on for my husband. I had my daughter draw a picture of her and her dad, and it's in little toddler potato people artwork. I'm going to embroider that onto a shirt for him so that he can wear it. So I'm gonna work on that right now, and probably listen to some of the audiobook for Finley Donovan Digs Her Own Grave. Okay guys, so I just realized that I was inadvertently doing something that does mark something off of the bingo card, and that is that I was pulling books off of my shelf that I am wanting to get rid of. One of the boxes on the bingo card is to unhaul some books, and I've had some books set aside that I've been wanting to get rid of, that I've been planning to list on Marketplace or to go drop off at a thrift store or maybe in a little free library. So I just pulled 17 books off of my shelves that I have got set right over here on the bed. right there, and I just have to upload a picture of the books that I am unhauling. I just listed them all on Facebook Marketplace, and we're gonna see if anybody wants to get those, but for now, I will be placing a picture of the unhauled books right there on my bingo card. One more is checked off. Okay, you guys, ignore my post-shower appearance, but I think I have a plan, okay? Here's what I'm thinking. I'm almost done with reading Finley Donovan Digs Her Own Grave. Almost done with it. And that one I'm going to put in the blue cover box. That kind of gives me this line right here in the middle that I am 3 out of 5 done with. So I'm thinking that that is where I'm going to be going for bingo. Unless something doesn't work out, or unless something ends up taking me too long. We'll see, or if something else just, you know, comes across as like easier to finish. I think this is the one I'm going for. I'm going to finish tonight the Finley Donovan book. I've only got a little bit left, like literally maybe 30 minutes of reading left. And then I downloaded from Kindle Unlimited The Song of Achilles. This is one of the books that is a favorite of one of the other girls who is doing this same challenge, the same bingo challenge. And one of the places on my bingo card is to read another reader's favorite book. So I'm going to do Song of Achilles when I finish the Finley Donovan book. And then after this one, I'm gonna find me a classic to read. I'm not big on classics, but something that is great about classics is that a lot of them are not very long. I'm hoping that I can find one that I will really enjoy. That way I can just breeze through it. So this middle line is where I am planning to try and get bingo. That's what I'm going for. So if I can get through Finley Donovan, Song of Achilles, and then find me a classic to read, maybe I will be done. Let's see, I need to get reading. Let's read Finley Donovan right now. It's the next morning. I did finish Finley Donovan Digs Her Own Grave last night, and I went ahead and I started reading the Song of Achilles this morning. I do have some stuff I am trying to get done around the house today because we have family coming in town this weekend. So I want to try and just knock as much house stuff out as possible so that I can get back to reading. I'm very intrigued by this book. I know a little bit about Greek mythology. I'm not even going to lie. Most of what I know is basically from Percy Jackson or from like Hercules on Disney, but I'm still going to give this book a real shot. Again, it's not something I would typically reach for, not something I was really ever planning on reaching for, even though I've heard really good things about it. But this little challenge is pushing me to kind of go out of my comfort zone and to read this book. So we will see how I am feeling as I read it. Okay, so I am 31% of the way through the book now, and I'm just not sure what I'm feeling. I don't know if we're gonna build up to something that's then going to make me feel differently than I feel right now, but I am 31% of the way through the book, and it just feels flat. Like the characters feel flat, the storyline feels a little flat. I feel like the author really knows Greek mythology, definitely more than me, because I'm like asking my husband, who does know more about Greek mythology, like about it. But yeah, I just feel like our characters are kind of flat, and for something that I've always thought was like is this book an epic? Or is it like a retelling of an epic? Or I don't know, I guess I'm still just trying to figure out exactly what it is. Because from what I understand, an epic is like super thrilling, and like there's things happening all the time, and there's fighting, and there's wars, and there's monsters, and the gods and the goddesses and all that. And there is a little bit of that, but not much, to the point like I'm kind of bored. Again, only 31% of the way through the book right now, so we will see if any of that changes. But as of right now, those are my thoughts. appearance. I just wanted to let you guys know that I did finish Song of Achilles today. I finished it earlier and I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't my favorite book. Here's what my thoughts are. I still feel like the characters were really flat. I mean, more started to happen in the end, and I feel like if more of the book would have been done similarly to how the book was done in the ending, with all the war and the fighting and just the developments that happened within our characters, I think that I would have been a little bit more interested, because I did find that part interesting, but I didn't have like a big like emotional response like I know a lot of people do with this book. And I wasn't all that connected with the characters, and I was quite bored for the majority of the book. So I'm landing on 3 stars because I think the book is still interesting, and obviously a lot of people like this one. It was one of our participants' favorite book that they put on this challenge, so I do get to mark off another spot on the bingo card. And then when I finished that book, I immediately started my classic, which I am rereading my favorite classic, that is The Great Gatsby. I'm reading it actually in my physical book, which is the, let me grab it for you real quick. This is my copy of The Great Gatsby. It is absolutely gorgeous. I found this in a little antique like reseller shop and bought this I think 2 years ago, and until now this is the first time I have actually read this copy. The only copy I have that I have read in the past is like the one, it's actually the one that pulled up whenever I was marking this for my Libby. But I really, really love this book. It is my favorite classic, but I have not read it since I was in high school. So reading it again now is great. And I'm honestly really excited to be reading it again because it makes me want to watch the movie. I love the movie, the one with Tobey Maguire and Leonardo DiCaprio. So I'm going to finish this one. I think I might be able to finish it tonight. I think I'm over 50%. I'm like right around the 50% mark. I am almost to chapter 6. And once I finish this one, I can mark off my final spot for this little bingo row, and we will have bingo. I don't know if I'm the first one who will have bingo. We'll see. I'll let you guys know. Everybody, I was able to finish The Great Gatsby this morning after breakfast. Again, it is such a quick read, but it is definitely my favorite classic that I've ever read. I don't know, I'm just like taken aback by it every single time that I read it. And I think this is the second or third time I've read the book, and even the first time I read it, I was like jaw on the floor with how the book ends and all of the things that transpire in that story. It's crazy to me. I love this book. I love the movie. My husband was actually telling me this morning when I told him I was rereading it that he had never read it and he had never seen the movie. So now I have an excuse to watch the movie, and we're going to be watching that soon. I did go ahead and update my bingo card. Here it is. I did get bingo. I'm not sure if I'm the first person to get bingo. I did just upload it to our little reading challenge page, so I guess I will see what Brittany says whenever she sees that post, and I'll give a little update here before I close out the video. But I'm so happy that I was able to get this book read. Just like, again, I told Brittany the other day that I'm really happy that we are doing this challenge because it's encouraging me and pushing me to read books that I probably wouldn't be reaching for right now. Like, even though I love The Great Gatsby and even though I knew I wanted to reread it at some point, I might not have been reaching for it right now because there's just other things that kind of tend to be on the forefront of my mind, or like that I'm planning to read. And especially like for a reread, if I have a lot of books on my TBR that I have not read before. Those new books on my TBR tend to take a little bit more precedent for me, so I'm glad that I had something like this to encourage me to read a classic, but to also read Song of Achilles, because again, I don't know when or if I would have read that book. And even though it wasn't my favorite, I still really enjoyed like the experience of reading something outside of my comfort zone, because I'm typically a fantasy, romance, or like maybe sometimes a literary fiction kind of reader, but 9 times out of 10 it is fantasy or romance. So I am happy to have this experience, you know, pushing me outside of my comfort zone. Okay, everybody, I did hear from Brittany. I was the first person to finish my bingo card, so I did win the Barnes & Noble gift card. That is very exciting, but something else that I'm really excited for is she said that as the winner, she's going to have me now help her host the next little bingo event that we do, and she's also wanting to talk about doing maybe like a scavenger hunt, and I think that is going to be really fun, and I am very excited to help her out with getting the next round of this started. Our $5 buy-in was absolutely worth it in my opinion. I think that this was a really fun idea, and I'm really happy that she came up with this. I know I've said that multiple times, but I think this is a really fun activity for all of us to do. But again, this was my completed bingo. I did get more than just the initial 5 since I could not decide on a path in the beginning of the bingo, but I am so happy that I do get the Barnes & Noble gift card. That means there will be some kind of book haul coming in the future. So keep your eye out for that one, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!